Endo, we haven't talked to you since the trade. Just wondering how the first couple weeks of a Kansas City Chief gone and how you've acclimated to some of the guys in the room and the offensive line as a whole.
It's been going great, man. It's been going great. It's different, obviously, with it being a new team for me, but a bunch of great men in this locker room, a lot of good leadership, a lot of men that played ball for a long time and been around the game. And I'm just being a sponge, soaking in as much as I can from, some of these older guys in this locker room and all the knowledge that they have and experience that they have and, things that they've been through, here in Kansas City or in the pros period. So it's been great, man. The team is taking me in. The coaches are taking me in. I'm just working every day.
Go next to Robert Rimson. Go to Robert.
Hey, Orlando. Andy kind of talked about you earlier and how you and Andy Heck have been talking a lot. What do you think of Andy, and what have you learned from Coach Heck so far?
Coach Heck is great, man. He's an incredible coach. He understands the X's and O's. He's played the game. He's been around the game for a long time, so he knows. He's super easy to get along with and learn. I've been in Baltimore for the last 3 years, so there's certain things, I guess you could say I'm wired a certain way on certain things, and I'm unwiring and learning his new techniques and certain things that he's teaching. I think is going to be incredible for my game.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Orlando. When you talked to us last time, you told us how important your dad's influence is has been on your career, and just wanted to ask you, what would he think, first of all, of you not only getting drafted, but being drafted by one of his former teams when you did a couple of years ago, and now getting to play left tackle for a Super Bowl contending team?
Yeah, I think my dad would just be excited that I'm in the NFL, period. I think it would have been a similar situation, in Baltimore, although he would have been happy that it was a team that he played on. I could say the same thing for the Cleveland Browns, honestly. He loved that organization as well. But I think he would just be happy that, I'm in the league and I'm able to play at the highest level. And, I'm getting better each and every year. I know that, he'd be more excited about that as far as who I play for, I guess you could say.
Let's go next to Darren Smith. Go ahead, Darren.
Hey, Orlando. First of all, I like the little LL Cool J look. You got to tell us about that. But more importantly, when you're in the room, have like Lucas Niang or some of the younger players come to you, Creed Humphrey, just come to you and just ask how you've adjusted from going to college to the NFL, and just like trying to get some advice from you, knowing even though this is your first year in Kansas City, but you've been a Pro Bowler at both sides of the ball. Has Lucas Niang or anyone that the Chiefs have drafted or brought in come to you for advice?
Yeah, man, honestly, all of those young guys. And I'm just trying to do my part and be the best leader that I can be, be someone that they can lean on as far as for questions about the scheme, or really more so lifestyle and personal issues that you may deal with as a young player in this league. It's not easy, to make it into this league. It's definitely not easy to stay in it. And, my big thing, and the big thing that I emphasize to them, is the understanding that, this is what we do for a living, but, at the same time, you got to have fun with it. And, you got to enjoy it and understand that, once these pads come on, once the lights come on, man, we're going to be the most physical group in the NFL. And they're taking it in. They're taking in what Coach Heck is teaching, and, Coach Reed, and really just the system. Everyone's all ears. I think we got an incredible offensive line room, including the veterans that we have in there, and some of the older guys, and Mike and Kyle and Joe. Man, I mean, it's an incredible room.
We got four more. We'll go right down the line, starting with Matt Derrick. Good, Matt.
Hey, Orlando. I know you've worn 78 for a while, which is retired in KC. I'm just curious, what went into the thought process and the decision making to go with 57? And do you understand the rareness to see a left tackle wearing that number?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I feel like 57 gave me the opportunity to represent two men that had an incredible impact on my life, with that being Jamal Brown wearing 55 and my dad wearing 77 and 78. I just felt like it was an opportunity to, I would have got 75, but Mike had 75. So I was like, 57 is available. And, I just thought it was a great number. I definitely thought it was unique, but it definitely gives me the opportunity to represent those men.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Orlando, so many moving pieces with this offensive line. Obviously, you're new. Joe Tooney is new. Looks like he'll be working in the new center. How important is it to you, as a guy who's been in the league a while, these OTAs, to develop some sort of cohesion and understanding what the guys next to you are doing?
Very important, man. To me, especially up front, and maybe for quarterbacks as well, it's important to get that live timing against a real body, get that live timing against a real defensive end, the rush it, the time of the snap count, the system, all of those different things, man. I think that I'm at a point in my career where it's definitely these type of off seasons and being able to practice against live personnel. It helps me a lot. You know what I mean? Because I'm able to focus on things that, I may not have been able to focus on last year and be able to craft, and I take this time to really just try to develop my game into a different way. That way I can hit the ground running here in June once we get out and translate that all the way into camp, into the season. But man, it's really important.
Go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Orlando, talked a little bit to Coach Reed just about some of the nuances that maybe you've got to change, right? I know when he was very complimentary of the Baltimore coaching staff and that you were well coached there, but what are the nuances that are different and maybe a more run heavy versus a pass, or just the nuances of the different way that they want you to block? What are some of the things you're having to work on?
Man, you think you said it right there, with the, the adjustment to more true drop back passes. Just the understanding that, now I got to, play an actual chess game out there on the edge with a guy, because, we're going to have to do certain things a certain way. And, I'm going to do my best to manipulate all of my blocks to the best of my abilities and keep Pat safe. But, it's definitely a learning curve. It's a different system for sure. But, football is football. At the end of the day, once I get it down, I know it's over with.
We'll go last to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Orlando, I have two quick questions for you. What's the best part about Creed Humphrey as a just teammate going all the way back to college? And then secondly, what's it been like to get to know Chris Jones and to see him in this sort of setting so far?
Yeah, it's been great getting to know Chris, man. Chris is an elite talent, all pro level player. He's been really good for a long time. He gets paid like it, man. I got a ton of respect for him and his game. I enjoy working and going against him, man. That's something you don't get, every day, unless obviously you play here or play, somewhere else with an elite rusher. And as far as Creed, man, Creed's incredible, man. Creed is someone that when I was my last year at OU, he was coming in as a freshman and he was a sponge. He soaked everything up, learned what he could, learned the system fast. He's very competitive and he loves football and, he likes being physical. And I think, those two things or three things are definitely going to help him excel to being an elite level center in this league, man. I definitely think that, he has all pro bowl potential. And, this system, this scheme is going to give him the opportunity to do it. And he's got the right mindset.
Orlando, we appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.